Gotta love you. Just gotta love you. Thank you. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So we have 2 more speakers. And are we good, George?
We're good.
All right. So I want to introduce to you our favorite, Maya. Come on forward, Maya, and share your story with us. Ray, okay? I want to just build on what you were talking about. Look at all these beings of light. We're just energy, you know? I'm a little shaky. I'm trying to jump over this public speaking thing. And I want to start with just kind of a general thought that my passion and my purpose in my life is eclectic learning and growing and adjusting and accepting and expanding. And I love doing this and being here doing this. I'm constantly seeking the golden thread of truth in everything, and especially in the major metaphysical teachings. I'm very eclectic, so my talk will reflect my current beliefs, and I am always adding and modifying, and I just love this process. And I really enjoy learning from others' examples too. And I look for how it's here, how we demonstrate our beliefs. And I love being with you because we're doing it. We're expressing and receiving. And I just love being in this space. I thought this talk was an interesting thought because it's for like over 50 years of work or thinking to share in 10 minutes. So I'm trying to give you some, the cornerstones of my belief. To just a few quotes to reinforce, that have reinforced my beliefs too. And I gave you a handout. I'm gonna need some water.
Judy's getting water.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got water from
them. That have supported my, I have some thoughts in it and a couple of things I want you guys to do with me, because I'm up here, I can ask you to do that. So, I want to start with, thank you so much. With my name. I'm Maya, and that's a name that's all over the planet, in many, many, many different countries, on different continents, which I love about it. Also, it is a word in Sanskrit, and often people say Maya means illusion. In fact, it means the ultimate illusion, the illusion of separateness. Yeah. And I believe it's the biggest error thought, that all the other error thoughts come from that, the illusion of separation and separateness. And how I've come to my beliefs, they started really early in my home. My upbringing was really unusual. My biological parents ran a foster home, and my brother and I helped, my biological brother. And through this empirical experience and direct observation of over 200 newly arrived humans who came through our home, most of them were from newborn to 2.5 till I was 10, so I was a little kid with all these kids learning. And I loved this because I knew before I had words that we all arrive here full of light, and I have experience that proves it. I saw it, and I saw the compassion that comes, we all arrive with it, right? Little kids are so compassionate with each other and responsive to the energy in the room. And reciprocal love is there before they can walk and talk. We come here that way. It's just a lovely thing to know, and it helps me operate in the world. Because I do see that it's like we're related in the same way we share DNA in the physical plane. Well, we're all from the same energy source. We are. We're of it. In it, of it. We're the same light energy. I finally got words for all of this in my late 20s when I started getting into metaphysics. So I had words for what I knew, and I already knew it. And I love that. I just loved it. And you guys are doing it for me too. You're reinforcing what I know. And I love being here. We're of the same infinite light, the infinite creator, infinite energy, and quantum physics now backs me up. I just love that too, so much. Yes. And what that means to me is that we come here, and I want to give you a quote. That there are many, many quotes from many, many teachings that talk about how we are of the same infinite energy. This is a quote from Mary Baker Eddy. "Divine mind is constantly communicating with us, offering clear, uplifting ideas that are practical and understandable, making untutored knowing available to all." And I love that. We are all plugged in equally. So now I'd love to, I left this out. I just want to, this is a cool thing. Anyway, since this infinite energy and knowingness is always available, our job is to receive it. And so I have hanging up on my cupboard just a little thing that says I am fully receptive to my good. And it's just a wonderful reminder. Yeah. Then, now I'd love to sing with you, and this is a song that reflects what I'm talking about. And I'm kind of a Weird Al Yankovic for metaphysical lyrics. I like to rewrite lyrics of my favorite songs and my favorite hymns. And I make them match what I'm currently believing, because I love to sing, and I sing in the shower, I sing in my kitchen, I sing in the house, I sing in the garden. And so I figured I might as well take these songs that I love and make them into uplifting thoughts that match me currently. So they turn into mantras or affirmations. And so I want to share one of them. It's in the pink handout. And I love that I'm up here so I get to hear you guys sing it. This is gonna be wonderful. So I want to sing it twice. And I'll sing it, this is based, it's from the original song, It's in Every One of Us by David Pomeranz, and I adjusted the lyrics, and they're in your handout. And if you know the melody, you're welcome to join me on the first time through, and the second time I want you to try it. Join me fully, okay? So, it's in every one of us to be kind. Find your heart, open up all your mind. We can all be compassionate without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us. We can all be compassionate without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us, here and now. It's in every one of us, here and now.
Beautiful.
And I experienced that here too. So I love that so much. Now I'd like to share two quotes that have been extremely helpful to me over the years. And I might be going to the TMI, too much information, but I typed these out for me too, like they are in your little handout. And I hang them in my bathroom on the wall at eye level, so I see them every day. And I read them sometimes out loud, sometimes silently, or just look at them and remind me. And when human behavior on this planet starts to appear to be filled with fear and chaos, and I'm starting to feel uneasy and wonder what to do, this short, really deep Martin Luther King quote has brought me back to center many, many times. And this is it, and I'll read it to you. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And that's my job, your job, our job. And I love that because it takes me out of the chaos right to the truth. And my final sharing is an affirmation from Ernest Holmes, which isn't in archaic English, and I didn't have to modify it. I love it. And it's very empowering for me when I feel powerless. I want to read it to you, and then I'd love you to read it to me the second time. I will really enjoy hearing it. I know that nothing but good can go from me, and nothing but good can return. It is my inward desire that everything I touch, every person I think of, shall be blessed and helped. It is my affirmative prayer, which I completely accept, that even as I pass people in the streets, some silent influence of good shall reach from me to them. And so it is. So let's do it together. I know that nothing but good can go from me, and nothing but good can return. It is my inward desire that everything I touch, every person I think of, shall be blessed and helped. It is my affirmative prayer, which I completely accept, that even as I pass people in the streets, some silent influence of good shall reach from me to them. That sounded wonderful. And I want to conclude with my direct observation and empirical experience of you. And here I see you generously and freely expressing love and kindness and compassion. And equally important, I experience you as receptive and open to love and compassion and kindness. We are an example, a beautiful example of diversity coexisting with unity and cooperation. And I come here and I know peace on earth is possible. We can do it, and we need to do it. Being an example is our job. And I just thank you so much. We are making a difference, just being how we are. beautiful energy. Thank you.
It is a pleasure to introduce Alysone Tell. She shares her stories of this, I believe. Alysone.
Thank you, Sally. You know, I find it very interesting that we've got three very similar stories. I guess one never knows where one's spiritual journey will take them. I grew up Catholic, 12 years of indoctrination, the last 4 in all-girl high school. So I hope I don't offend anybody here when I say I'm a loyal member of Ex-Catholics Anonymous. But I always remembered my 2nd grade First Holy Communion. That day, I felt the presence of what I called Jesus, but infinite source within me. I felt sacred and holy that day. And I didn't know the words, I didn't know what it was, I didn't talk to anybody about it, I didn't really explore it, except that every Sunday when I had communion, that feeling would come back to me. As an adult, I went to the Presbyterian church in South Lake Tahoe, mainly for the pastor, who was very down to earth, inclusive, accepting of all, just the best sermons. When he retired, I was on the minister search committee, and we found one that we thought was just like him, inclusive, accepting. Well, wow, the first service, we were misled big time. He just came out with this sermon that was completely intolerant and evangelical, just really preaching at us. And unfortunately, interestingly, before the first service was a new pastor, so between the time when we selected him and his first day, it was 1997, and I had a near-death experience. And I'll explain more about that in a minute, but when I came back, I realized that I couldn't handle religion. I wanted spirituality. So I started attending Unity at the Lake in South Lake Tahoe, and eventually became a prayer chaplain in 2009. Unity allowed me to explore and deepen my own spirituality. And as a prayer chaplain, when I prayed with others, my prayers returned to recalling my near-death experience. There I experienced love, just pure, unconditional love beyond measure. Peace, white light just emanating love, radiating, pulsing with love. Jesus and Mary were there, of course, remnants of my upbringing, but they were simply and amazingly beings of love and light, radiating light to me, enveloping me in this light. It gives me chills to this day. I was told it wasn't my time to go, but I had to choose to go back. And it was such a beautiful, peaceful place that I didn't want to leave. I was also given my name, Alysone, meaning all is one. Afterwards, my prayers changed from God out there to infinite source within. And the feeling I experienced at my 2nd grade First Holy Communion was clarified. It's like, oh, that's what it was. So this I believe. I am love. Every person is love. I am one with love. We are all one. Love simply is, exists everywhere. We are one with love in us, through us, and as us. And this I believe with all my heart.
I don't know, it's like, really? sweet, watch out. Got some good competition going on here in the pulpit. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Maya and Alysone. What an incredible story we heard from each of you. Thank you again.